In the health field, I quickly realized that it really wasn't what I wanted to do. I wasn't used to the blood and the body fluids and picking up heavy people and carrying them up flights of steps, and I didn't like to see people sick. So I kind of decided I wanted to look for something else, and I was in a bind. I needed a job. So I ended up walking into a radio station one day as I was downtown Cleveland, Ohio, looking for many jobs. I wanted anything I could, to help take care of the family. So I walked into a Radio 1, which is WZAK and WENZ in Cleveland, Ohio, and I asked, were they hiring? And they kind of looked at me like I was crazy, and they told me I can leave an application and a resume. And when I left out of there, I never expected that they would call me back. But they called me back 2 weeks later. They said they had a part-time receptionist position that they needed to fill, asked me if I was interested. And I kind of, was weighing my pros and cons because I had another job offer for a full-time position, salaried position with MBNA, actually. It's a banking company. And I actually turned that down to take a part-time job paying only $8 an hour, and I had to pay like $8 a day to park. So I wasn't sure why I was making that decision at the time, but it was a great decision for me. I started off as a part-time receptionist. I advanced to a full-time receptionist. From there, a position became available in the programming department, and they moved me back as the programming assistant, where I helped all the on-air DJs as well as the program director. And I decided I wanted to be on the radio, and they kept looking at me like I was crazy, like, well, you've never done this before, and sometimes you have to leave, the market you're in to, kind of get your feet wet. But I wouldn't accept no as an answer, and one day some young lady ended up sick, and they needed somebody on the radio, so they gave me a shot. And after I did the radio shift, I just knew I bombed it. And they said, are you sure you were never on the radio before? And I was like, no, I promise. And from there, the rest is history. I ended up with a regular slot. I left Cleveland, Ohio to go to Charleston, South Carolina, and that was my first full-time on-air personality job. I was also assistant program director and music director in Charleston as well. From Charleston, I went to Mobile, Alabama to do the morning show with the late, great Ray Ray. He used to be on BET's Comic View, and he recently passed due to heart failure. So I'm a big advocate for the American Heart Association. And from Mobile, I moved to Greenville, South Carolina, where I accomplished a lot of things in my career. I actually received a Marconi Award, which is the largest award you can receive and most prestigious in radio, and a lot of local and state level awards there as well. I was there 5 years, and now I'm in Philadelphia, and I'm looking forward to the next stage of my career.